Fighting Championships on MTV2 and on Epix in HD, along with Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida tonight. From Hard Rock Live now present 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Lightweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the Florida State Boxing Commission, Executive Director Thomas Malloy, and brought to you by Need for Speed, The Run, rated teen, in stores now. And now inside the cage first, introducing the red corner at 5'8", weighing in at 154.5 pounds, having earned his title shot. The Season 4 lightweight tournament champion tonight enters the cage undefeated, 8 wins, no losses. From High Ridge, Missouri, he fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada, introducing Michael Chandler.
90 more, baby, 90 more, Mikey.
And across the cage, the champion fights out of the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in at 154.75 pounds. Impressive as a professional, 22 victories, only 2 defeats. Recognized as the best lightweight in the world today, from Philadelphia, the defending Bellator Lightweight World Champion, Eddie Alvarez. And the referee in charge of the action, Troy Wall.
Fighters, center the ring. Fighters, center the ring. Gentlemen, we all know the rules. I want a good, clean fight. I will not tolerate anything less. Let's touch gloves. Let's get ready to rock and roll.
This Bellator World Title fight is under the unified rules of MMA, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are allowed. There is Jamie, Eddie Alvarez's wife. His 3 sons are also in attendance. Michael Chandler versus the champion Eddie Alvarez for Bellator's Lightweight World Championship. The bell in round number 1.
How much time will Eddie spend on the feet? That's an important part of this fight. Good left hand.
Chandler is in the black trunks. He got him in the white trunks.
He hurt him back.
He's letting go. Alvarez in all sorts of trouble trying to hold on.
Oh, good right hand by Eddie.
Troy Wall was seconds away from stopping this fight in favor of Chandler.
Eddie could still be rocked. Remember, Eddie gets rocked in every fight and manages to come back, but you know he is still in trouble.
Alvarez said, one of us is going to win inside of 2 rounds. If that doesn't happen, this will go all 25 minutes. I thought that was a remarkable statement from the champion.
Could be a statement of bad luck because he got rocked.
Partial suplex there by Chandler. Alvarez trying to fire back to the body. Bouncing the step of Eddie Alvarez.
And I think Chandler established he is not to be taken lightly on the feet.
Jimmy, I'm telling you, referee Troy Wall was about to step in and stop the fight in favor of Chandler.
I'm glad he didn't. Eddie was able to stay on his feet. Didn't look hurt, like he was hurt that badly. Able to come back. Another good right hand.
Great inside right on the counter by Alvarez. His best punch of the fight thus far.
And Chandler doing a great job with that lead right. Beautiful jab.
Eddie Alvarez said, I have to pick my spots, when to explode, but I need to put Michael Chandler into a fight.
Now Chandler's exploding first, very athletic. I think his speed is surprising Eddie at this point.
Alvarez talked to us, Jimmy, about calculated risk, knowing how to pace himself.
And that's one thing he said. He made very clear. He goes, this kid has not been in a 5-round fight like I have. He doesn't know how to pace himself like I do. Chandler coming out with a lot of energy so far. Can he keep this pace up? Good straight right. Both these guys are having a lot of success with that lead right. Man, only 2 minutes into this fight. Unbelievable.
Incredible action thus far. That's a really clever, almost look away, walk away right hand by the champion, Eddie Alvarez.
Eddie looks like he's recovered well. That's an important thing. He's been dropped in a lot of fights. He recovers very quickly.
Chandler trying to change levels. Chandler wants to use his wrestling, but on the ground, he is a ground and pound fighter, not a submission fighter.
Good body work by Eddie.
Chandler
now starting to kind of find his rhythm.
Chandler went for the leg, couldn't find it. Alvarez to the body. Chandler now tying his man up. Remarkable start to this world title fight.
Eddie dropped by Joachim Hansen. Tatsuya Kawajiri came back to win both of those fights.
Roger Huerta dropped him as well.
He did. Trying to take his back. Good job by Chandler.
Chandler too slick. Out the back door, a single leg, then Alvarez slick back to his feet.
The crowd is on its feet tonight.
Alvarez, it was an absolute destruction of Roger Huerta. A TKO stopped between rounds 2 and 3, and yet Huerta dropped Alvarez in that fight.
Now this is where Eddie is at his best, in the center of the cage when he's loose. I think the speed of Chandler, his aggression to begin his fight kind of got him on his heels. Looks like he's recovered, but Chandler's still very dangerous. Oh, another good right.
So remarkable that Chandler, entering the season for 155-pound tournament back in March, said, I'm thinking about Eddie Alvarez. The other 7 tournament fighters said, it's just one fight at a time. I'm not even going to consider the champion.
Eddie's talking to Chandler now. Trying to get inside the head.
Outside kick by Eddie Alvarez.
Of the much younger fighter. I think that's important. Little gamesmanship there. Great knee.
Oh, that was a big knee as Chandler
Another
dropped.
good right.
Good overhand right by Alvarez. Chandler missing with the left. Bouncing the step of Alvarez. Chandler trying to pounce. Knee by Chandler. Good uppercut.
Eddie moved his head at the end of that. Just grazed him. But Chandler's still moving forward.
Chandler not intimidated coming forward.
Good right hand.
Alvarez not intimidated coming forward. No counter fighting thus far.
Man, can you say round of the year? I think this is it.
Right hand on the inside by Chandler.
And he has to be careful with his jab hand. He's got to watch that lead right. Michael has stunned him with it. Another good jab.
Chandler came
another good right.
A straight wrestler, but he has really worked hard on his striking. Final seconds of round number 1. An amazing round number 1.
Dropped him again.
Right hand by Chandler, looking to finish before the bell.
You see here the end of that first round, but they are right back in it. Oh, good right by Chandler.
Round number 2, you saw in that replay, referee Troy Waugh about stepped in. He hitched and caught himself. Waugh almost ended his fight in favor of Chandler early in round 1. But we continue round 2, and Jimmy on your scorecard.
Yeah, 10-9, Michael Chandler. Looked like Eddie was winning back that round, but that flurry at the end, I think, iced it for Michael Chandler. That's 2 times it looks like he could have finished Eddie Alvarez. That's stunning.
Michael Chandler is in the black trunks. The champion Eddie Alvarez is in the white trunks. This for Bellator's lightweight world title. Chandler, it was fascinating, Jimmy. He said, I don't want a fluke knockout win. I want to go at least past 3 rounds. I want to show that I have dominated the champion, Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, that's a bunch of crap. If he could have ended that in the first round, he would have. He didn't back off because he wanted to. You finish it when you can against a guy as dangerous as Eddie Alvarez.
Foot stomps and knees to the thigh by Chandler. Another foot stomp.
I never believed that, I wanted to really show what I had. No, you want to win. Both these guys want to win.
Chandler forgot about that statement when he was trying to finish in round 1. I keenly observed that point. Phenomenal fight. Blood coming out of the mouth of the champion Eddie Alvarez, and a big takedown from Chandler.
This is where Chandler has been so dominant in Bellator, on top. Good submission game, but really good with his ground and pound. Tremendous pressure.
You saw Chandler taking the back, but not getting either hook in. Alvarez back to his feet. Alvarez missing with that right hand.
There's an outstanding lead right. I think he needs to set it up a little bit better. Chandler's catching him with that jab coming in. Now he's starting to read the right hand.
This crowd is absolutely rocking here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida.
Now Chandler mugging a little bit, sticking his chin out.
Seems to be a split crowd, Jimmy. Half behind the champion, half behind the challenger in this fight.
I don't care who you're behind. This has been an amazing fight.
Chandler trying to become the champion.
Oh, good knee.
Alvarez trying to further his claim as the top 155-pounder in all of MMA and make his second successful title defense.
Now, both fighters said they wanted to make it a fight. Both fighters are correct. That's what they're both in.
How smart there was Chandler, Jimmy. He was in a position to be knee in the head, and he kept both of his palms flat on the canvas.
Exactly. 3 points position, anything more than your feet on the ground, you cannot be kneed. But remember, Eddie Alvarez does have outstanding submission skills. A lot of options from here. Guillotines, Peruvian neckties, got to be careful. Chandler has to be conscious on the bottom.
Alvarez now getting his right hand on his left bicep.
The gator roll, anaconda. You see here Chandler protecting, pulling that right elbow down to give himself some space. How much energy is Eddie using here? That's the question.
Chandler back to his feet, eats a knee, and then slips the right hand. Counter right on the inside by Chandler. Both fighters going all out for victory. This is not about scoring points. This is not about playing it safe. This is to win or retain the world title.
Great head movement by Chandler. He's moving back off that right hand very effectively. I think he's reading it well.
Bouncing the step of the champion, Eddie Alvarez. Final minute of round number 2.
Eddie needs to get that lead hand going, that lead jab and lead hook. Michael Chandler's really timing that right hand well with his head movement.
Alvarez to the body, then the head.
It's one thing Eddie does very well, works the ribs. He's a good body puncher, nice leaping left hook.
Chandler feinting, coming forward. Counter shots the kick, lancing kick there by Alvarez. Alvarez showing his elusiveness on the feet. Feinting coming forward now.
See Chandler slowing down.
Good kick on the left hand.
See Chandler slowing down a little bit.
Alvarez feinting with the flying knee. Hold it back. Closing seconds of round 2 of this world title fight at 155 pounds. I love this fight, Jimmy.
Fighter, you ready? You ready?
Heading into round number 3, we're scheduled for 5 in this Bellator lightweight world title fight. Michael Chandler earned this title shot by way of winning Bellator's Season 4 155-pound tournament, facing the champion, the top 155-pounder in all of MMA, Eddie Alvarez. 3 judges scoring cage side from the state of Florida. Jimmy, on your unofficial scorecard.
Now, why did I have to score that last round? Unbelievably close, almost an even round. I'm going to give it to the champ 10-9 and have it even.
Michael Chandler is in the black trunks. The champion, Eddie Alvarez, is in the white trunks.
Well, Chandler's pace slowed a little bit in that second round.
Then Alvarez said, I need to put Chandler into a fight. He did not believe that Chandler had ever been in a fight before. Chandler entering this bout a perfect 8-0 in his pro MMA career.
Now it's Eddie taking the center of the cage.
Good left hand by Alvarez.
That's important. Chandler's at his best when moving forward.
Chandler missing with a hook to the body.
Now his corner in between rounds says, I want to see that uppercut. Change up your punches. I think that's because Chandler is reading the right hand so effectively.
It's been a pretty split crowd, even for Chandler and Alvarez, but now chance at Eddie.
Also, those Philadelphians so loud. Doesn't have to be a split crowd, even if it's 50-50, you're going to hear Eddie's fans every time.
Chandler didn't know the exact number, but he said, I'll have at least 20 family members here, including his mom, Betty, who you saw earlier, as well as his dad, Mike.
My favorite quotes from Eddie Alvarez said, my fans would boo Santa Claus.
They did actually at the Eagles game in the early 1980s.
Oh, City of Brotherly Love.
Good left hand by Chandler, then misses with a right to the body.
See Chandler slowing down a lot here.
Alvarez trying to turn up the pace. Alvarez in a position to knee.
And you see here that left hand, he was leaving it on the ground to avoid the knees. Now going for the guillotine.
Chandler pops his head free. Both fighters so sweaty right now, Jimmy. It's tough to get a standing guillotine in those gloves, as you know.
Chandler looked down. I don't know if there was some kind of problem there.
Alvarez trying to let the hands go. Chandler pulls away on his bicycle.
And he's turning it on now.
Alvarez trying to let go with the
Another good right hand. He could be looking for the finish here, Sean.
In stalking mode now. Chandler trying to fire back. Big shots from the champion. To the body now for Eddie Alvarez. Uppercut. Straight left hand by Alvarez. Chandler missing with a counter right.
I think it was a body shot that hurt him initially. It seemed like all the gas suddenly went out of Michael Chandler, like all of his air suddenly went out of him, and he's a great body puncher. I think that was what did it.
Chandler on the single leg shot, Alvarez the sprawl, pulls his leg free.
Man, Chandler looks just about spent, but he is still very dangerous, and Eddie knows that.
Body lock now by Alvarez. Alvarez seeing things go his way here in round number 3. Letting go with the hands. Chandler missing with that right hand. Alvarez keeping his boxing tight. Alvarez to the body. Chandler missing with that jump-in knee.
But he's taking big, gulping breaths, and he is so exhausted. I think those body shots just took so much out. Now he's in big trouble.
Alvarez sensing the end, trying to let go with the hands, trying to find the finish here in round 3. Chandler so tough firing back.
But Chandler's still loading up. You see just unloading at the ribs. 1 minute left in this round. Can Eddie finish it?
Another spectacular round in this truly spectacular fight. Another single leg shot by Chandler. Another successful sprawl by the champion Alvarez.
And every one of these takedowns that he doesn't get takes so much out of him. Look at the hip pressure of Eddie Alvarez and Michael Chandler. Just spent from here.
Well, it's minute 15 of this fight. Remember, we're scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
Just relentless with this takedown, but Eddie Alvarez relentless with the body shots. Go for an outside switch now.
Do not grab the fence, Ed.
It's basic wrestling. I think Chandler's just holding on, trying to see the end of the round. See a smile on the face of the champ.
You see the blood over both fighters. Michael Chandler versus the champion Eddie Alvarez for Bellator's lightweight world title. Closing seconds of round number 3. A tremendous fight to this point. Chandler has sensed the finish, Alvarez has sensed the finish, and still we fight on.
Stop, stop.
Here comes round number 4, scheduled for 5 of this Bellator lightweight world title fight. Undefeated Michael Chandler versus the champion Eddie Alvarez. Alvarez looking to record his 23rd Pro MMA win, and this is 25th Pro MMA fight. Jimmy, how do you see this fight thus far?
Man, I give the last round to Alvarez, 10-9. That's his first clear dominant round. I gave him round 2, but that was very, very close. I thought round 3 was the first one he clearly took.
Chandler is in the black trunks. The champion Alvarez is in the white trunks. Alvarez cut badly, and in at least 2 places, if not more, in his mouth, leaking a lot of blood out of his mouth. There's still quite a bit of blood on the back of Michael Chandler. It's the blood of Eddie Alvarez from the mouth.
The thing is, you know, Chandler established that right hand early on in the fight. That made Eddie Alvarez give him a lot of respect in that 3rd round and not going for the finish when he might have been able to do that. He didn't want to walk into another one of those right hands.
Alvarez trying to walk down Chandler with punches.
That's when he's been successful, starting with the body attack and then going to the head. Remember, it was a body shot that started the dominance of the 3rd round.
Chandler so complimentary coming into this fight of the champion Eddie Alvarez. He said he really doesn't have a weakness, but what I can exploit is his wrestling. By and large, Jimmy, this has been a stand-up fight.
I was about to say, it's been mostly a stand-up fight. Chandler has really impressed me with his boxing.
Good right hand by Chandler.
It's a little below the chin. Hit him in the upper chest. Eddie coming back.
9th Pro MMA fight for Michael Chandler. The first time he has been past 3 rounds. The 25th Pro MMA fight for Eddie Alvarez. Just the 2nd time that he has been past 3 rounds.
And he is still winging power shots, Sean.
April of this year, Eddie Alvarez defended his Bellator world title versus Pat Curran, winning a 5-round unanimous decision.
He looked gassed at the end of that 3rd round, but still coming forward, still throwing with a lot of fire in this 4th round.
Here's the shot.
Oh, good right hand.
Big right hand by Chandler. His best punch since round 1, then the left. Windmill right by Chandler, just missed the mark. A bad
Good
mouse
uppercut.
forming under the left eye of Michael Chandler.
Oh, another big right hand. He's hurt. He's hurt badly.
Chandler now pouncing. Alvarez bleeding terribly out of the mouth. Chandler letting go with the full-on ground and pound.
He needs to get space. He needs to get up right now. Chandler is all over him.
Chandler trying to move the side control, and he has it. Chandler knee on belly passes. Beautiful pass now into mount for Michael Chandler.
And he has great recovery, but he's mounted right now. Now giving up his back.
Chandler looking
That's it.
to choke. There's the tap, and we have a new champion. Michael Chandler is Bellator's new lightweight world champion. A truly remarkable and memorable fight results in a title change. Michael Chandler defeats Eddie Alvarez to become Bellator's new lightweight world champion. Let's send it back up to Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage by way of a rear naked choke. The tap comes officially 3 minutes, 6 seconds into round number 4. The winner by submission, and now the new Bellator lightweight world champion, Michael